Hello and welcome back to Esoteric Ebb. So, um, what is this? Is that the same pillar from below? I think so, right? An almost intact and endlessly rising pillar. Centerpiece of Norvik. What do you mean endlessly rising? Isn't it like cut off here? So if I touch it here, the pillar of Jor towers before you. Okay. Whispers to you unintelligibly. Touch. Yeah, magical object. I know. Try meditating on it. Takes some time, but could prove invaluable. Yeah, sure. Close your eyes. You shape your mind into an arrow, shooting it out towards the esoteric force. Find the rhythm to Jor's realm. Hear his voice. The cold rock of the pillar turns warm in your palm. You've marked it with your spirit. Feel warm and deep. Goes deep down and far up. Marked it? You're unsure. You feel like there are more spots you need to investigate. Okay? I've learned something. You must keep looking. Soon the pillar's secret will be revealed. You understand plainly there is more to this pillar you need to investigate. In time, further below. Okay? Empty water barrels. Really empty? No, not really empty. What's this? Ah, the tea shop. Amid scorch marks and cracked masonry, you approach a doorway. There are several planks blocking the passage. The tea shop. What a mess. Take a peek inside. Powerful force left these marks. Fastened with several nails. You also see a paper. The goblin clears his throat and begins reading the bold letters at the top of the paper. City notice, no trespassing. Doesn't include me, does it? I'm no expert in city law, but... Your companion suddenly kicks the plank, sending a subtle ripple of blue energy around his foot. Think I wouldn't sneak in by myself if I could. It's sealed. You ain't getting in without the magistrate's approval. As you touch it, subtle ripples of blue energy appear around your gloved hand. It is sealed. As you move away your hand, the faint aura shimmers in dark translucent blue and then fades again. Away. Yep. Just standing near the door makes it clear that there's a locking spell cast on it. Standard procedure for crimes and scenes. Yeah, strength DC 25. What kind of magic is this? Arcane lock. Second level abjuration spell. Okay. You need a passphrase to unseal it. Can I bypass it with magic, with knock? Yeah, I need to find knock. Dispel magic could also work. Can I guess the passphrase? Guess? Guess? Without knowing who placed this seal personally and their preferences, even assuming the person who placed it is an idiot who would use something of their own preference. There are millions of sentences. There is no chance in hell you can simply guess. Now go figure something else out. Ah. Let's see. Wait, isn't this where we came from? I completely missed the tea shop when we came out of here? Wow. Oh no, I didn't miss it. I just went here. Right. Come on, get down. What do we have here? What the fuck? Bikes? That feels out of place. This bike stands out to me for some reason. A handful of bicycles are stationed at the local rack. Bike racks are stationed in many places around the city, usually in locales with lots of stairs. There's a stillness here, an uncommon sight at the heart of the city. Not a lot of bikes. The usual commuters are probably too scared to head past the tea shop. This particular bike is yours. Where's the key? Not here. Yeah, it would be silly to leave it with the bike. Don't go wandering around looking for your key. It's just a bike. Could getting the key be a quest? That does sound like a quest you would get. Find the missing key. The mystery of the bike key. Something like that would be perfect. No quest to be found here, just sadness. Damn. The key is probably at the bottom of the river, along with the rest of your dignity. Look at the lock. Okay. Yeah, it's my bike. You see anything strange about this bike? No, it's a bicycle. He doesn't care. You like bicycles? Not particularly. You want to know a secret? Not particularly. This is my bike. Yeah, that seems to add up. It's implying that this rusty old bike suits you. Which is very true, mind you. I love this bike. Uh-huh. If I remember where the key is, can I bring the bike with me? First of all, don't ask me. You're an adult. Do what you want. Secondly, how the fuck are you going to take a bike around Tolstad? You gonna carry it? Up and down the stairs? This bike rack is set up here so that people can leave bikes before heading down the stairs to Waterlane. I could do that. Oh, you could, yeah? You find a pocket bike, that's another thing. But leave this one be, cleric. We got work to do. Bye, bike. Who are you? Zerba BE. Constitution. Jesus, I keep rolling. A girl born from an Asgalist wave in an Asgal household come from a fallen Asgal state. She's an Asgalist. Where is she? She says nothing. Staring at you, no real reaction on her face. Citizen? She looks around, clearly nervous. You're worrying her. By your presence alone. Potentially by something else as well. I'm waiting for a friend, but she hasn't shown up yet. Getting worried. I can help with that. No. Good luck with that. Halfway bridge. It connects with the palace and the rest of southern Norvik. Alright. Let's see what we have here. Wait. Oh, this tea shop was here all along. I know where I am. But where would I get a knock spell? Can I get this hammer? Simple hammer. +1 constitution. Do I... Can I equip that here? Yeah. Well, we've discovered jack shit, actually. We have to go into the under city. Yeah. Oh yeah, and the owner. Locate the Birdman and find out what he knows. Yeah. It's not gonna be in the Undercity. Yeah, Darrow. But Darrow is available When was it? After midnight? Why is that not linked here? Yeah, the man dressed in yellow went into the city below. Yeah, and these resistance people are meeting. Yeah. Women, they're everywhere. Your worth as a man is based only on the admiration you get from them. Your goal, get a date, a real date. When did I get this? It's not even here. Authorization from Darrow. I think it was after midnight, between midnight and 6 a.m. Well, I think we should... What is this? An entity. Highly uninteresting. It's an apple. That's very interesting. Where does this go? Oh. You're not the bird, man. I forgot where we can go. Oh, yeah. What is this, actually? Oh, yeah, that's the temple. Couldn't get anything from this individual. Wait. No funds nor focus needed to restore these structures. Okay. I think my best bet is to go through the... Oh, we didn't explore Water Lane fully. Right. Can I just go down here? But that ladder was... Was it risky? Should still try. Maybe down is easier. Long way to fall. Okay, easy. Right, leave the crap alone. What? Oh yeah. I have inspected this before, I think. This was the house where we got some reward. Torna, the first of the river guilds. Yeah. Was this... Opens at sundown. Not now yet. Should go up there. Excluding the anti-magic messaging. Free strike. That was too fast! No one can dismiss the dwarf's architectural genius. Office of Snurre Appleband Pian. Let's see. Children's drawings on the wall. Magical quill and paper. Trifle. Tiny dictator. That sounds like something that's useful for us. +2 intelligence. Advantage against bureaucrats. Okay. Hell yeah. Does that... Yes. Yes. +6 modifier. Damn right. An unseen servant magically attuned to a feather pencil and a paper. Write down everything spoken within 10 feet. The content disappears off the page as it writes. The servant can follow commands to write down specific topics, keep the notes in a certain style, or focus on a chosen person's words. These are very common in the halls of the palace, where words can ruin lives, or worse, careers. Yo. Wow, intelligence, finally. Hell yeah. True neutral, halfling, Fortfolk, level 4 scholar. Scholar of the Fortnip Commonwealth, a man working out of a hole in the wall. This is the type of man who knows exactly where he is going, and is simply going there very slowly and deliberately. He knows his expertise. His moves are calculated. His journey is long. The esoteric is closely tied with scholarly arts. In the old days, no distinction between the two was made. Today, in this modern world, his side is all but winning. You have spent quite some time reading up on his art. It's interesting. Research is the first step to grounded spellcasting after all. Beyond this facade as a dispenser of knowledge, this halfling is also searching for answers to his own questions, namely, what is the nature of power? Politics? The golden line? You take a step into the cramped office, standing in front of a sleeping halfling. This is a scholar? Curse the gods, go investigate his book collection before waking the lazy halfling. Yeah, exactly. Something's at the bottom. Coins? Yes. Scholarly commendation of the Fortnip Commonwealth. A collection of books, political mostly. You see a collection of books from the philosophy canon, none of which you are really able to understand. Next to them, a line of famous political books: Asgali's Theory, Hedonists, The Dark Book of Shadow, Lexandro? What's that? Gnomish author of The Folk, a collection of essays. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Collection of essays on the topic of populism. Famously suggested the new era to be named the Era of Crowds. Attempted to modernize Retian theocracies. Open the Folk by... yeah? This was the first book placed in your hands as an Urtfolk recruit. Look inside. It's an old worn copy of the same text. Musings about the divine era of great walking gods and their theocratic states. A history lesson. Morphing into a series of guidelines. How modern leaders, as a response to the drawn-out Coast War, should return to the old. The proven, the organized, the divine. Although written from the perspective of not faith nor service to the holy, but rather that of service to the state. Modern theocratic vision. The nation as an entity not bound by the protection and lifetime of its god. Instead, the nation-state will survive on unifying cultural traits passed down from that god to his people. This Lexandro writes, will fasten them into the earth, creating firm groundings for the states to exist beyond any others. The later chapters go on to describe his dream of a millennium empire, his grand plan, a nation to survive the passing of eras. Collection of ideas he gathers in this dream, an ideology structured around order, without the weakness of monarchy, the chaos of democracy, or the esoteric dependence of magocracy. Millennium Empire, the fascist ideal. What should I answer as a... Yeah. Okay. It was written by a gnome. Alexandro was a gnome. He tried using the so-called Fasci di Condottieri, the great mercenary warlords of Old Diminor, to bring order to the neglected parts of the band. He was, however, ultimately destroyed by the same warlords he created, when his followers failed in their coup of Savalny. Ironically, the responsible squad reportedly did not realize who they had killed at first. They had simply been hunting down any non-humans in the city. This was not openly spoken about during your training. But yes, it is true. Very ironic indeed. Blind Manifesto by Hedonist. Memoirs of a Statement. Yeah, I'll read it all. We have time for now? The book. Always listen to your hungry stomach, it says with big ugly letters on the first page. Should listen to the book and the stomach. It's crazy old text. Same as always, the book begins with a tirade about property ownership. Then on the 5th page you find a diagram showing how to ritualistically summon a demon. It's incorrect, however, on purpose supposedly. The rest is a series of extreme essays on the topics of hedonism, rejection of statehood, free association, maximizing sensation, direct democracy, and reciprocal exchange. Paints up an image of an ideal world where all can live without strife simply through the cooperation and love of all things. Made illegal in many cities after its release in 466 AE, this rambling text has survived for one reason or another. Free love, let's see. It has pictures. Tiny scribblings. Oh, what the hell? My mouse is malfunctioning. I think tiny scribbling. Something akin to stick figurines positioned in various enwrapped unities. You remember the words well. The guide on how to make ultimate sensations of flesh. Close the book. Reading filth like this will only darken your mind. Sure. Memoirs of a Statesman by Darrow. The first few pages are devoted to a rambling text about the history of governing, from ancient texts from various beasts of Jor to gods of the divine era to several arcanist figures. Darrow then smoothly moves on to conflate their accomplishments with his own, especially since he also includes an explanation of his lineage, that he is a direct firstborn grandson of Borgo Darrow, the first paladin of Urd. The many pages go on to describe both practical but mostly theoretical methods a statesman should use when dealing with the populace, the bureaucracy, and the ideologies of modern life. Generally, the book has a rather rough tone about democracy. A quote you've heard before from this book pops up towards the end. Those who believe in democracy have a wonderful view of folk, to think them capable of making rational and informed decisions devoid of personal bias and emotional conduct. From what you remember, it caused quite a stir when this came out 2 years ago. You recall a rumor about Shield Lord Yarn having hated this book so much during its printing that he personally bought 200 copies only to burn them in his garden. It's probably not true. Probably. The Dark Book of Shadow by the Shadow Lord. You pick up the black-covered tome. A faint tingle goes through your gloved hand. That's the most evil book I've ever seen. How'd they even get the cover to be that black? It's like a void. Thickened graphene. That's how they create the darkness on this cover. Memory lingers in this tome. If you open it, you shall recall. Yes. The text is not dangerous. The pages show but the holy scripture of the Shadow Lord's lost religion, one of eternal servitude and the search of life in death. The Shadow Lord is an early walking god of the Divine Era, known for his legion of Death Knights and the grasp they held over old Diminor close to a century. His city, Savalny, still stands today, and is where the remaining Shadow Clerics gather. However, you remember it well. This was the first book you were ordered to study, as punishment for your idiotic behavior at the towers. You remember? First journey towards the esoteric. Yes. How liberating it was. To know, beyond any doubt, how much greatness hid within your mind. Blurred faces, hushed whispers, a crowd of thoughtful peers, each snickering about your hand. A raised hand among a crowd of sheep. Patriarch, it's not just a religious text. They stare at you. It's a spell book. Those were the words. Oh, how they laughed. He asked you to prove yourself. So you did. I went up to the Patriarch. I took the Book of Shadow. Yes, then Yes. Detect alignment. You memorized it on the spot. Then you cast that ancient spell, once used by the Death Knights of the Shadow Lord to subjugate and control the minds of his people. A spell that is, despite its first level, not learned by most clerics until they grasp the intricacies of higher tier casting. Everyone was left stunned by your excellence. Just detect alignment. That's what they're talking about. To not only master such a spell, but to do it in seconds instead of days. That moment, it was yours. From that moment you marked your place at the towers as the greatest spellcaster, the greatest talents among them all. However, as always, the weak fear the strong. That moment also began your ostracization. You would never be among them, never have peers, none would see you in any way as a brother or a comrade. I would be a leader. You are, and you shall continue to be. Your vision is blurry. It's filled by the pages of that book. It's a good one, despite its religious fervor. As many say, the Shadow Lord was as much an early arcanist as he was the greatest of the walking gods. Okay, we're done with the shelf. Great. I guess it's time to wake up this... No. This man? Take his... yeah. Good afternoon. Good forenoon, citizen. What do you mean forenoon? It's 5. Oh, he mutters and widens his bushy eyes. His confused gaze focuses on you. Life is pain. Glare at him. Terrible, terrible pain. Oh, he mutters and rubs his face. The wrinkles fold over one another like waves on a storied sea. Are you... He looks at you with his wary expression. Then he rubs his nose and sniffs twice. Are you here for the invoice? His words come out in a typical Ford nip accent. What? The invoice! Should I have an invoice? No. No? No? No. Oh, hold on. I've already paid that invoice. You're here for something different. He leans in, facing Snell. I hope Queen Goblin has no quarrel with this old scholar. He holds up a palm. Nah, we're here on city business. I'm exploring random buildings and yours was unlocked. Yes, I've got some questions about the tea shop mostly. Then you are dealing with interesting events. The city has seen its fair share of calamities over the years. The tea shop explosion appears tiny in comparison. Probably, but I have some questions regardless. Of course. Curiosity is absolutely vital for keeping the old brain in motion, so I commend you, cleric. And you as well, my goblin friend. He looks around, grunting. Can I get either of you some fucking water, or you will swear words like coastal winds? This halfling is wild in a fun way. No thank you, your companion replies very quickly. You're a scholar, Appledant, right? Appledant. Me, yes. I'm Snurre Appledant, he says and bows his head in the chair. Scholar of Fortnip University, in dedicated service to the progress of AIS. Alignment Intent Studies. It's a very specialized field of study that focuses on the esoteric effect of alignment, its practical uses, and the various ways to interact with it. What exactly do you do? Many things. Primarily, my expertise lands on the topic of alignment and its many historical and contemporary applications. Some bullshit, I will tell you. These days, I mostly deal with other forms of study. Specifically, I run this office here on the experimental technique of psychoanalysis. Ah yes, he's a scholar of cybernetics. Modern psychoanalysis is an offshoot of its methods. What kind of magic is that? No magic at all, although there has been some detect thoughts involved at some point in the development. It's a form of mind healing, as they call it. I'll be one to call it support instead. It's essentially the idea that the mental present is shaped by the mental past, and that through dialogue, our unreleased unconscious ghosts can be vanquished. Talking about feelings. I know, truly horrifying. A Reetsium friend of mine once told me this joke, and I apologize if it is too vulgar for your taste, but... Sure. Right. A cleric, an arcanist, and a rogue delve into the lair of a succubus. The fiend defeats all three men, throwing them in her dungeon. She grows to fancy them, so she offers them a choice. For each man who can successfully satisfy her, she will let that man go. Otherwise, he speaks with little fits of laughter in between, she ends them, so to say. Actually, haven't heard this one. What a rambunctious tale! Do go on! So the three adventurers debate in which order to go. Eventually, the rogue and the arcanist decide the cleric should go first, as he is a virgin and will be least likely to increase her standards. Your goblin companion rubs his eyes as he listens to the joke. The cleric, being divine and so on, prays to his god and goes to the fiend's bedchambers. He comes out 10 minutes later, completely unharmed, gives a thumbs up to his two friends, who of course both feel a great sense of relief. The arcanist goes in next, confident and arrogant. The cleric could do it. The fiend must be easy. Within minutes, his bones roll out of the bedchamber entrance, the man having been incinerated by hellish flames. The rogue is horrified but realizes, obviously, the arcanist overestimated his abilities, so he carefully enters the bedchambers, ready to put every ounce of effort into it. Less than a minute later, screams erupt from the bedchamber and the rogue's lifeless corpse falls out of the entrance. The cleric prays for the souls of his comrades and gathers their remains for burial. Succubus steps out, smoking a cigarette. She tells the cleric, "My, your friends were truly terrible. They were just fumbling about down there. At least you managed to touch it a little." To which the cleric responds, "You are truly an awful creature, and I will pray for your presence to be exorcised from this plane of existence every day until the day I die." Then, before he walks away, the cleric adds, "Oh, but I did heal that horrible wound you had between your legs. Hopefully that makes you less evil in the future." Ho 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 ho! The halfling chortles my kind of humor, you might say. In short, you can view the succubus as an evil in the world which religious fervor would pray to repair. However, such reparation could often lead to not so optimal path. Or most simply, you could say it's a basic allegory for alignment itself. The cleric meant well for all intents, but his actions cost the life of both his comrades. Is that evil or is it good? And so on. Either way, psychoanalysis. Yes, that's what we were talking about. It's about your feelings, though. Thoughts, memories, choices you've made, things that have happened to you. They can bog you down, so to say. And the goal in my clinical practice is to root that out in my patients' minds and help make them aware of repressed negative baggage, if you will. Yeah, so one can move forward more speedily. I don't have any repressed negative feelings. A bold claim, but it's not the only thing I work on here. I am currently exploring the dream of animus. That's something to do with masculinity and femininity, based on Civitic's ideas. A dream of man and woman. What a pervert, you like this guy. Men and women? Sometimes, but the dream is just a concept of understanding gender ideologues. Beyond that, I also focused a lot on my own unverified theories. Slaps his knees and grins. The folk spirit, have you heard of it? Something he made up doesn't mean it's not correct though. No, I have not. Understandable, it's not yet published. The folk spirit is the working title for my new thesis. Most of it is, if you excuse my Anuran, fucking bullshit. Wait, Anuran was French. It's fucking bullshit. But in short, it is about how each folk share a number of core communal archetypes or myths. I've traveled around the coast to collect as many tales, writing down thousands of stories previously only passed down orally, all to see how well my theory holds up in the minds of so many folk. He clears his throat and leans back into his chair. Apologies, I'm ranting here. Let us put a stop to it. What do you want, cleric? Wow, finally. Dude. Yeah, I'm going to end the video here and we will continue the conversation next time. I hope you enjoyed watching and hope to see you next time. Bye.